Drinking with Authors may contain adult content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drinking with Authors. Going to make it sound like a game show. I am your host, the author Nick Savage, and this episode, as all episodes, are brought to you by Four Horsemen Publications. So head on down to their website, the number four, not spelled out, Four Horsemen Publications, and check out some cool authors. However, that being said, an author that is not on that website that is bringing in here to us tonight, with us tonight, I'm just going to pretend I've been drinking already, are an author duo, Alexis and Jorge Romero. So welcome both of you to the show.
Hello.
Hi. They have written the dark romance, paranormal romance, Death's Undoing, which is book one in their series. So before we get into that, tell us, what are we drinking tonight?
I'm having the Stella.
The Stella Rosa, Rosa. It's like the red.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I'm having 3 Floyds Turbo Reaper IPA. Kind of strong, but very flavorful.
Now, I love a good IPA, and I think anyone doesn't like a bad IPA, but I do love a good IPA. Is it a heavier bodied IPA, or is it your kind of?
I would say heavier bodied. The hops definitely pop through, and it's definitely on the stronger side, 7%. But yeah, strong, but like I said, really flavorful. It's one of my favorites that they got.
No, that is nice. If you're ever looking out for another good IPA, check out one called Boom Juice.
Boom Juice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Boom Juice. I think that's what it was called. It's been a year or so since I've had it. I know it's still around. Boom Juice, I believe, was the name of it, and it was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably hands down one of my favorite IPAs. I'm sorry?
You think I'd probably find it like at a Binny's or something?
Probably at a Binny's. And for anyone listening who doesn't know what Binny's is, that is the Midwest liquor store chain, and they are ridiculously huge on the inside. You walk in, it's a warehouse. Yeah,
all liquor.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Well, like when I lived in the Midwest, we had Binny's. Then I moved up to Wisconsin, and they had Woodman's, and the Woodman's liquor depot kind of area was really awesome as well. But then I went to like the Binny's out in like Orland Park, and I was like, oh, this makes Woodman's look small. And I know and you guys are up in like Brookfield, which I believe is north of Orland Park.
Yeah.
Been a number of years since I've been outside of the Chicago area when I go back to the Midwest. But yeah, down here we have nothing. In Florida, we got the liquor stores are all small. Even the big ones are tiny compared. Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
But
all the crazy Florida man stories you hear.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not alcohol. That's drugs. That's going to be your bath salts and your meth and your right. It's going to be your methamphetamines and barbiturates, not your alcohol. No. But I think right now what alcohol is in Miami is being drunk dry by the Tartan Army as they watch their team play some football in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So there's it's they drink Boston dry. I think they can do an easy job with Miami. But you guys wrote a book. And there's a lot to unpack here because we don't get a lot of duo, author pairs on here. So let's begin. Tell me about Death's Undoing, which is book one in the Undoing series.
Okay, well, Death's Undoing is something that we had in mind for a couple of years and then finally hunkered down, started writing. The story basically follows a couple, Kara, who is she works at a antique shop, but she can also see and speak to ghosts. But she's kind of tried to like lay off of it because ghosts are always asking for favors or send messages and whatnot. And then the main male character is Ricky, and his cousin had just died. And he's going to the store to try to pawn off some old comic books that they collected. and that's where they meet. And his cousin actually shows up to Kara and tells him, "You need to tell him that he's in danger." And at first, she tries to kind of shoo him off, but as the story progresses, she gets sucked into the danger as well. And it's basically them just trying to survive the stuff that is after them, and uh, trying to be new lovers. All those.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Is it open door or closed door? Like, are we reading what's happening while they're having their sexy fun time, or is it?
Oh,
all
yeah, it's
kind of
very
hap-
explicit. Very explicit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is nice and spicy for anyone looking for that. Okay. It's funny because some authors and even musicians, what they write and what they read or listen to are very different sometimes. So it's nice to know that that's out there for people looking for that. Now, I know it says number 1 in the series.
Yes.
Do you have are you leaving the series open-ended, or is it going to be like 3 or 5 books and then you're...
We actually do have a second book out too called Magic's Undoing. That was just recently released. And then we are currently writing our third book, which is going to be Soul's Undoing. But it's one of those series where they could be read as standalones, and it's different, like main characters per each book, but they all connect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I'll have a shared world, and yeah. And I'm sorry, when I was doing my research, I completely missed the second book. What is that one about?
Okay, so that one is kind of like opposite of our first one. So the main characters are Penelope and Joaquin. And Joaquin works for the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. And he's been assigned this case. And there's this cult leader named Abel Ansel. And there's these string of deaths that they believe are connected to him. But Penelope is his right-hand person. So he starts to investigate, and immediately there's this connection between them. And it's a witchy cult, so she's a witch. And he hates witches, just hates them. But basically the story goes on to figure out their connection and the takedown, or the potential takedown, of Abel Ansel.
And what is the name of that book again? And I do forgive me on that.
Magic's Undoing.
Yeah.
Magic's Undoing. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going over it in my head, and I'm like, she said it, and my brain's like, nope, I'm too old to do that recall. And you already have your third book you're working on.
Yeah, which is called Soul's Undoing, which is going to focus more on demonic possession, demons.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that type of nature. But we're actually writing with the character becoming possessed. So
Okay.
it's pretty interesting so far to write.
And I apologize. Are all 3 books still in the romance genre? They don't veer off. They're all spicy. Okay.
Yeah, they're all very spicy. You got the spooky elements. There's the
horror.
The horror. The second 2 are more geared. Well, I should say they have more action, but there's some action sequences because they're agents and they have to face these beings. But yeah, the second and third one really opens up the world, whereas Death's Undoing kind of just introduces what can happen in this world.
Yeah.
And then we get to see who deals with these things as an organization.
No. That sounds absolutely like a fun read. Do you have more as they're writing standalone books, then you don't have you're only going to write X amount, and you're just kind of leaving it open-ended to write as many as you want them within the series and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much that's where we're at right now. We're trying to think ahead. We potentially have a 4th book in mind, but we're just kind of seeing where the writing actually takes us, because we've kind of noticed that that's kind of what ends up happening is we have this glorious idea when we start, and then as we're writing, it morphs into so many other things.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we're just kind of figuring it out as we go.
No. That is absolutely wonderful. So how is it writing with a partner? Like, does like one person like do a draft and then, the other person comes in and does the rewrites, or are you both kind of writing at the same time? Like, how's that work for you guys?
Well, the way we've written has kind of changed a little bit. Like, so with Death's Undoing, we definitely went more for like, because it's in dual. All these books are in
Dual
both,
point of views.
both perspectives of the female and the male character. So she would write the female parts, I would write the male parts, and it was also easier because when we were writing Death's Undoing, that was actually during like the pandemic. Well, actually, no. Um, Tail end of the pandemic, so things were still kind of slow, and I was also laid off from work, so I could dedicate more time to writing. And then as work picked back up for me, basically we would come up with the characters and the storyline and which plot points we wanted to hit, and I would still write as much as I could, but she would take over more of the writing, and then I would go back and read what she wrote and make sure that the character's voice kind of still shine through the way I would have written them, and make my own changes throughout
Yeah.
the chapters.
But we definitely have different approaches and styles.
Yeah.
So he's more of like, I want to go chapter by chapter, and I'm more like loosey goosey, where I'm just gonna go wherever my mind takes me, which sometimes is good, but sometimes we kind of have to.
Yeah. Then I gotta reel her in because we're starting to get to certain points where like, how are we gonna tie this in?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's fun trying to figure out how to get to that point.
Yeah.
So who writes the spicy scenes? Because
I love that question. So actually, we share it, but like for me personally, I feel like I am an avid reader of dark romance books, and I've read quite a few where like it's been the male point of view, but it didn't feel like the male point of view. Like I can't speak for how the male sexual experience is. So I usually like give that to him, or if I, write it, I'm very much like, please like critique the hell out of this, because again, I don't know your experience and you don't know mine in those terms, So I mean, I'll sometimes take a swing at it, and he's never laughed, so that makes me feel good. But
I'm just like, I
never laughed in a bad way, or just never laughed at all.
He's never laughed at all, so that's made me feel like, okay, maybe I'm overthinking this a little, but yeah, he'll always be like, more detail. I'm like, okay, well, you could add.
No. I have found, as someone who writes, the spicy scenes from the male's point of view, when you're trying to write it from the opposite way, or write, there's in the internet, there's all those bad examples of male authors writing females. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I always find that looking out the bad writing examples will help not what to do, or what not to do. And so it's a nice little, guide that way of at least the cautionary tales and stuff. But if he's reading them and not finding, I'm not even going to assume. Is she good at writing male's point of view, or do you have to go in and kind of like fudge stuff around?
Sometimes I gotta fudge stuff around. The one part where I really have to step in are the action sequences.
Like the physical combat stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, hell no. I'll write 10 sex scenes over one like intense battle scene. Like you could have all the battle scenes.
Yeah. I one of the times that I read one, it was like one guy comes in the room and gets shot in the head, and then another guy comes in the room and he also gets shot in the head. And I was like, I gotta do something about this.
I mean, it was a very short scene. Just enter die.
Yeah, I
enter
just
die.
wanted to get through it. And he's like, you can tell that you just wanted to get through it. And, the readers don't want that.
I think given the right situation, like a brevity in an action scene could be useful. But I think when you're trying to make it an action sequence, brevity is the opposite of what you want. But that's where he comes in and makes it,
Yeah.
So is your love of writing action scenes come from reading or watching action books / movies, or are you like into like MMA or something like that?
Well, I of course, like I love watching action movies. I love all the Marvel and DC movies and the comic books and whatnot. I mean, I never like actually like trained in MMA or boxing, but I do like, just kind of implementing some of that stuff. And like when I was younger, I used to be skinnier, and that was one of my forms of training was boxing. I think it's a great form of cardio. So yeah, that kind of helps translate over to how I would write an action sequence. I just kind of like think about the body mechanics and all that stuff.
And he's knowledgeable about weapons, because that was another thing too, like talking about a gun, or he would know like specific. He's like, I want the character to have this knife or that. I'm like, you know what? Like, go off. If you know all about that, like, yep, he's gonna use that knife then, But you got to write it, because I don't know,
So I'm assuming though your knowledge of weapons is more than just from the Gundam models that you build.
Yeah, although they those are also very heavily packed with weapons.
Now, for people who don't know what Gundam is, and that does include myself because I am not overly familiar with it, what is Gundam and what are the models that you're building?
Okay, so oh god, you're gonna regret you started this. No, so it started as like an anime, giant mechs, pilots that go inside giant mechs.
I do know it. Yes.
And so a lot of people think that it's a kids show, but it's very political. War crimes, child soldiers, people having to make very hard choices. And the cool part is that they took the mechs in the show and they made them into model kits. And she can attest to how many I have. There are tons of them out there. I'm actually using some boxes to stack up
the laptop,
so it's even. So it's a little bit more at eye level. But yeah, I have an extensive collection with a big backlog, basically like kits that I haven't put together yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's on sale, you got to get it,
No, I understand. I used to do models of a different sort when I was because I did like the model cars. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not quite the same as Gundam mechs, but like the cars came unpainted. Do the mechs come painted and you're just assembling them, or do you have to assemble them and then paint them?
They come. And assemble. They already come colored, and they even include like different stickers or like peel out the water decals that you could put on them. But a lot of people take matters into their own hands and go crazy with the customization, and they'll use they'll use different paints to like really customize them, and some of them go really crazy. I'm not at that level yet. I'm just building.
She's not even along, but you're not there yet. You're just at the I like to assemble and have pretty models.
Yeah.
Not okay. And nothing wrong for people who do that. Just not my thing. I'm a puzzle guy, so we all have our things we like to work on and put together from many, many pieces. I was reading through your stuff, and Alexis, it says your eyes change color.
Yeah. They do.
What color are your eyes normally?
So I feel like most of the time they're green. Most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's weird because you could see in my eye like different colors when you look.
Yeah, sometimes more gray will come through, or like in the sun, there's like golden spots in there. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I fell as hard as I did.
Is because of her eyes.
Yeah.
Now, it also said you guys met on a dating app,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm assuming it did not say anything about color changing eyes on the app. This was something you had to find out in person.
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, from the pictures, I could tell that she had green eyes, but then seeing them in person, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is nice.
No, that is. And you have to be careful. I had a girl date me once because she thought I had green eyes, and for 3 months, and they were just contacts, but I always wore them.
Oh.
And now this was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I was younger,
Yeah.
high school. So everyone was a little more naive. Nice way of saying dumber back then. But it was she was a good girl. Just wasn't. It was high school, man. It was the 90s. Color contact.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew these things? Now I'm assuming your eyes don't change color based on your mood. They're not like mood rings.
No, I wish it was that cool, but no. Just whatever it feels like being, it just is,
Yeah.
No. That is totally okay. Now you guys live in Brookfield area.
Yeah, but we actually just we just bought a house. And
Congratulations.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. They actually just accepted our offer today, and we're moving to Tinley Park.
Ooh, okay. So what I'm seeing behind you right now is not where you're going to be living in a month or two. This is
This is still Brookfield. Oh yeah, we'll be in Tinley in about a month or so.
Yeah.
Tinley's a fun area. I used to live out in what the hell was it called? Bartlett area, which isn't terribly far. And I was like Schaumburg, Bartlett, kind of that little area and stuff. And Tinley wasn't far from there. And Tinley's a fun little. I think you're gonna enjoy it out there.
Yeah.
So you ended up buying a house in this economy.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Forget it.
Awful.
We actually put in 2 offers before this one. The first one was a house in Darien, and people overbid us. We actually ended up overbidding too by like 10 grand.
Yeah.
And people overbid us by like a lot on that one. And then the second house had
a home sale contingency.
Yeah.
So they already had an offer in, but it was like they needed to the sellers needed to sell the buyers needed to sell their house in order to come up with funds to buy that house. And they kept dogging us and
they wanted us to be like the back burner.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, how about you guys get a home inspection, but like we're not gonna accept your offer. We just want you to kind of just have that ready. And we're like, no, you can touch grass on that one. And then we found this one.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. And I am actually really impressed because the economy sucks for so many reasons right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you are a stay-at-home mom.
I am. Yeah.
You are a union electrician.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the dream can still work.
Yeah.
With a lot of sacrifice, yes.
Yeah. I mean, our living condition now. I mean, we're just in too small of a space right now. So.
Yeah, we're still in an apartment, so this will be our first home, and we have 2 kids, 2 daughters. So.
But I mean, she could tell you right now, like the amount of overtime I've been doing. It's crazy, but I also wouldn't have it any other way if it makes our dreams come true.
Yeah.
Oh no, home buying is it's the scariest experience you will ever go through. And people are always like, buying a car is harder than buying a home. It is. To be approved for a car loan is harder than getting a home loan. However, getting a home acceptance, to have someone say yes to your offer is so beyond anything that you'll, and then you have to have the home inspection. Yeah. And then you have to hope that the home, passes. Now, home inspections aren't anything like, if it failed, you can't fail a home inspection. It's more for like your know-how And then if it doesn't meet certain criteria, yeah, you're not going to get the loan, amount that you need type stuff. But
Right.
if you have the funds and you can make up I mean, it's a scary situation. I'm not trying to scare you. But
No,
if you have
no,
the-
yeah.
It's already going through my head.
It's already, yeah, we're already like
Yeah.
240 in our minds, but it was scary too, just even like looking at these. You don't even realize what you like or don't like until you're doing these walkthroughs, and you're like, holy shit, maybe I am picky a little bit. Like maybe I maybe I don't like things this way. Like you don't know until you're actually like in it,
It's funny because I did real estate for like a year. It was horrible. Don't ever do it. At least in Florida. But like you have to manage. Are you using a realtor to buy or no?
We
Yeah,
are,
we are.
and she's awesome. Her name's Evelyn. Shout out Evelyn.
Yeah.
She's
Shout
great.
out to Evelyn, the realtor. I highly recommend. Some people are like, I don't need a realtor. No, use a realtor. I understand the cost gets taken out of the home for the seller, and then that way it costs like X amount more and stuff. But use a realtor. They're a real lifesaver. And it's managing the expectations. You know what I'm saying? Could be a little nuts because you're like, oh, I need this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then you try and go, oh, well, maybe I don't need this. So you're trying to like figure out the bare skeleton of what you need, besides 4 walls, a roof, and, a door and windows.
Right.
And you're like, okay, do I really need that basement, or do I just need like a den for the kids to play? Or
Right.
I do need a home office. You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, the kids can share a room, but that's only going to go on for like 10, 15 years.
Right.
We
Yeah,
don't want 18-year-olds sharing a bedroom. So, okay, we need 3 beds. And then, okay, so I do need the office. So I do need the basement if we don't have a 4th bed, and you're weighing all these things, and it becomes so inundating and overwhelming. And in this economy, I am so happy to hear people finding, what I'm saying, homes and stuff that still kind of meet, that not kind of, but still meet their expectations. So that's just wonderful.
Right. Well,
And
especially
shout out to Evelyn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the seller's market. Like, man, I'm not even kidding. Some of these houses, like, I'm like looking like, who told you to sell this house at this price? Like this, this is like, okay, you're selling like a almost $400,000 house with at least $200,000 worth of work. Like where, like, and then those houses are even getting snatched. Like those, I mean, even after I said, like, we would look the next day and it's like contingent. I'm like, well, that's how it goes, I guess.
Never, like, now that you have a home, don't be looking on the MLS anymore. Don't be looking on realtor.com and you know what I'm saying? You have it, they've accepted, because all you're going to do is second guess yourself. But people will do that because we bought our home right in 2018 at the very beginning of everything going up. So we still got ours at like the pre, like rise price and stuff like that. And it was all luck and just like happy coincidences and stuff. But like it was scary to see what the houses prices in our neighborhood rose to, and then what they kind of are settled at, because it's still so much more than what we paid for it. It's like, and then of course, once you get your home, you're going to get people trying to buy it from you.
Right.
And those are all the scams, because you don't want that, because, oh, you bought a home, now you're going to have equity in it, and they want it. They want that equity. Don't do that.
No,
I always have the, I'll tell them 1.5, if they want to buy it for that much, I'll move.
Yeah, right.
So like asinine, you know what I'm saying? The mountain stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
But it's a home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. It's just, I don't know. I just, nothing but congrats for you guys, and all the best.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it so much.
No. That is hard. So back to the writing, I guess.
That part.
This is what happens on the show, is we get, and things happen and pop up, and we just like sideline and stuff.
Yeah.
Romance authors you don't find a ton of men in romance genres.
You don't.
Myself aside, I've met a handful of other men and countless women romance authors.
Yeah.
So I guess this goes out to Jorge. How do you feel about writing them sexy time scenes when she's not around? Or do you just skip them? Like, are you okay?
No,
are you okay being associated with the romance and the sexy fun time, or are you want to do something on your own?
I do enjoy those scenes. Just getting the creative juices flowing and getting it on paper, and like if I feel like if it invokes something in you, then it's gonna evoke something in other people, right? But yeah, that was one of the things that she told me when we first started this process about writing, is that there's not that many male authors in this genre. And I mean, I still haven't I don't know if it's sacrilegious or not, but I haven't read any like dark romance or like spicy books yet.
They made him listen to a little bit of
Yeah.
one, but I think he got caught up in the actor more than the actual book, and how
Like, why does his voice sound so forced?
Yeah, like so deep and so like and I'm like, that's how it is. That's the part of it. That's the fantasy.
Yeah.
It's audiobooks are for a lot of people. I am not a fan of audiobooks because of the unnaturalness of a lot of narrators.
Yeah, especially the females. I feel like they're usually robotic sounding, which is annoying.
There's a certain expectation, to the cadence of the voices and everything like that. And so I try and get my narrators to break them. And if you guys end up like recording your own, because the price of having someone record a audiobook is stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
But my narrators, I tried to have a little more natural flow and everything like that. And some of them did really well. Others did decently enough. But
yeah,
it's hard. And I'm like, I'm going to do my next book. If you try doing that, I mean, there's free recording equipment out, or software out there and stuff like that. But just to record is very, like, you're not like, I'm just going to read the book, and you're just like, it's a very scary process and intimidating process. But
an actor,
huh?
You almost got to be like an actor, like to like really invoke what you're trying to, all the emotions that you're trying to put in the book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, it comes out very monotone and flat. So
yeah.
It's a very arduous process, but if it's done well and done right, it's a very rewarding process too, at least in the accomplishment of it, if nothing else.
Yeah, right.
Well, and the spicy scenes, that's gotta be really difficult to record, I don't know if I could.
Yeah. There are people who don't mind doing that, and I think if you can write them, you can read them. Maybe just in the privacy of in isolation, so that way you're not worried about other people or the kids hearing stuff like that. Yeah. Something I'm wondering about, Jorge, is and I'm not meaning to ignore you, Alexis.
No, I don't feel that way.
As a male romance author, even though you concentrated more on the action scenes or like the more narrative scenes and stuff like that, do you feel like you created something that can get, because men don't read romance, especially straight men, you know what I'm saying? Male romance readers are 1 to every 20, whatever, it's a lot more female. Do you feel like this book in this series is a way to introduce the male reader to the romance genre without feeling awkward about it? Or
I want to say mostly yes. I mean, there's definitely some books that Alexis has introduced me to that I feel intrigued by. Like one of the first ones she read was Haunting Adeline.
Yeah.
And I know that one has some action sequences in it, and the books after that also follow.
Well, it gets political. It goes into like sex trafficking and stuff.
So yeah, I definitely feel like what we've put together, especially if someone like fits the niche of likes action, likes paranormal, likes horror kind of stuff, then yeah, I feel like there's a good balance. I think we try to keep the spicy stuff. I'm not saying to a minimum, but at least more like
we balance it.
Right.
Like even when we're mapping, it's like we color code it. Like, okay, This is a horror chapter. This is going to focus more on the spice. Like we kind of like color code it in a way that it feels like it's not perfectly even. That would be crazy, but it's close enough where we feel comfortable.
Right. So you're not just scrolling down, you're just seeing sex,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we've done a good job at um creating that balance. And I've also put a lot of input into like some of the other aspects, like the emotional side of things. Like
Yeah.
in our second book, it touches a very heavy subject that we've both shared. Each one of these books has a heavy subject, but the second one has a very personal place in our hearts.
Yeah. I think we could share it.
Yeah. So
if you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to, but if you want to, we are here for that.
Yeah, it's kind of a spoiler, but kind of not. I think readers catch on pretty quick, but the main female character experiences a miscarriage.
Okay.
And so she places a spell on the male main character to make him forget her because she has to go on the run because Abel wants her to join him. And he actually was magically caused the miscarriage. So we really dive into we base the idea around when you love somebody so much, you don't want to see them in pain. That's basically what the whole book was centered around. And
what you do to like take that pain away.
Yeah.
Which in this case is pretty much erasing all his memories of her and the life they shared.
Yeah.
Prior to all that.
So we definitely try and go, and then the first book we go into basically the stages of grief and how people grieve and how, some people stay in anger for what feels like forever, and some people are depressed, and some people just heal quicker than others. So we kind of like dive into that. And interestingly enough, too, when we were writing the second book, I was pregnant with our second child. So it was kind of like a interesting experience because, we experienced 2 miscarriages. So we have personal experience with it. But then I was pregnant. So it was like kind of interesting how that all kind of panned out.
No. That is, it's a wonderful thing to share, not a wonderful thing to go through, especially twice. So very, condolences on that.
Thank you.
Shitty situations are never fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a pretty obvious statement, but like some people are like, yeah, but everyone experiences them. I'm like, yeah, it's still not fun. And it's still, something that sharing when you're ready is something, you know what I'm saying? That and I'm just a stranger, you know what I'm saying? So thank you for sharing that with me.
No problem. I think part of why we did it too was to bring awareness, because I feel like in our society it's like miscarriages are very like, oh no, like we can't talk about that. Like even in health class, I feel like I never learned about that. I learned about every birth under the sun, C-section, vaginal, whatever, but I never learned about a miscarriage or what that even was. And there are a lot of people who have this misconception of, oh well, it happened, just the next one's going to come, and it's like, well, that is, you should mourn.
Right.
It still was essentially like a life, and it is very hard to go through when you personally go through it. So that's why our book is actually very detailed around the subject, and not only goes into the emotions of it, but the physicality of it all. So
No. Thank you. So it's going back to the books, a little happier subject here for a second. The third book is being worked on. Do you have a release date? I can't remember if I asked that.
We do not have a release date. We're
thinking fall.
We were hoping fall. That's our goal. Like around Halloween would be amazing. But we still have I would say 4 or 5 chapters to go within the works. But that book's actually in 3 points of view. So 2 males, 1 female. So it's been a little bit more
of a challenge. Trying
yeah.
to balance all that out along with everything else that's already hard to balance.
Yeah.
No. I definitely understand. The more points of view, the harder it is to get it to play properly. So
yeah.
Have fun with that. The 50-50, it's at 33-33-33.
Mm-hmm.
So where can people find you? Where can we, give us a shameless self-promotion. People are listening. They want to know where to buy your books, follow you on your socials. Give me all of those.
So as of now, our books are on Amazon. You could get paperback, or we're on Kindle Unlimited ebook. We're on TikTok. We do have an authors page, Romero Authors too, but then we each have our own separate TikToks. So mine's Alexis Romero, M-A-R is the middle name, and then his is just Jorge Romero, like all together. And then we have Instagram under Romero Creators, and then Facebook's just our names, author page. So Alexis and Jorge Romero Authors page.
Very nice. And before I wrap things up, I have to ask, is there anything that I didn't ask or forgot to ask that you wanted to talk about or mention?
No, I think we covered everything and more.
Yeah, we
wonderful. Well, I try. I try. I've had a fun time talking with you guys. It's always interesting. Thank you. No, it's always interesting to have multiple guests on at the time, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. For everyone listening, I want to thank you all for joining in. Go follow them, find their socials, buy their books, support small authors. If you like the podcast, follow it, share it, make us famous, find us sponsors. But go follow Jorge and Alexis Romero. And until next time, everyone, remember, it costs nothing to be kind. So, be kind.
Thank you for listening to Drinking with Authors. Join us next time for another fun conversation with an author over drinks.